sometimes you could just worship forever, Almost like Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah.
A hand.
Like that.
All right. Who did their homework?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Good job.
Yay.
So proud of you guys. And the rest of you are
There you
losers. Even if you're not married, you should be doing your homework because this is about knowing who you are.
Oh, there you go.
You're not out. It's not a free pass. We've been in this marriage series, and what we've been talking about the last few weeks is the basic human needs. We all experience or all have these deep inner longings. It's how we're created. And what we've been talking about is not known to be politically correct, maybe, because sometimes political correctness tells you shouldn't feel this way, or it makes you materialistic or whatever and gives you a negative feeling. But the truth is, we have the need to be loved. And everybody wants to be loved, right?
We're created in His image, and so
He is love.
Right.
So if we're in His image, we have that need to be loved. The thing is, we're all wired up and programmed up to experience what love is in different ways. So and the way it works, if you haven't been here, is like if I'm loving you and if I'm loving my wife and say her greatest need is financial security, and that's it's irrelevant to me, but my greatest need is affection, quality time, or whatever. Then I could be giving her all the quality time she could stand and more, driving her completely insane, and she's not experiencing love at all. As a matter of fact, she's feeling neglected, and I'm just blowing and going because that's what I do, and she's feeling like I just totally don't love her at all. So what we're trying to do in this series is really help you. The only reason I'm here is to make your life better. I honestly, with everything inside me, I want to help you guys have a better life. If your life isn't better because you come to Driven Life Church, we're not doing it right. Does that make sense? I really want to give you everything I can to make your life better, but that's the thing. This is marriage, right? So you have to do the homework. Like, I can't wave a magic wand over your marriage and say, ta-da, it's fixed. And here's the other part: you can't go and pay thousands of dollars for a marriage counselor and him fix it, because if you're not going to do the work, nothing's going to change. And so we really wanted to try to give you all the tools and equip you the best we can to do the work. That's all we can do for you. I can't fix you. I can't change your life. I can't do anything for you, but give you tools that you need to make your life better, to make your relationships more functional. So, like, even if you're not married, we've talked about this. This works. These things are true dealing with your kids. These things are true in dealing with your friends, other relationships in your life. These are basic human needs, and we all have them. So we've been talking about these needs, and we've been talking about you discovering your needs. Because the thing is, if you don't know how to be loved, it's going to be very impossible for your spouse to love you. Now, for you to be married, they tripped up on it sometime. At some time, they tripped over what you experience as love. But I'm a guy, so we would just call that dating. Like, you just have these basic niceness you do when you're dating because, it's what you do. But, right, yeah, if you ever want to get a date, guys, you will be nice. Basically nice. And then when you get married, there's this tendency to stop dating and stop
being nice
and stop doing the things you did to be dating. The goal of dating is to make someone fall in love with you, right? So the goal of dating is to is to so much meet those needs that they feel as if they can't live without you, which is totally understandable for us. But somehow when we get married, it kind of just turns off. I mean, we're kind of done with that. And so we just start going through the motions. Well, in doing that, instead of what we talked about last week, filling the love bank, we start making withdrawals from each other's love accounts. And those are called love busters. Doing nothing doesn't give you credits, but doing the opposites start to be negatives, start to make withdrawals. And when you start making those withdrawals, then you're starting to, this is what's called a love buster, okay? Now, I wanted to say this again. If you don't have this book, if you're married, if you know someone who's getting married, the best marriage gift you could probably ever give someone. If you haven't read it, or if you've read it and hadn't read it, you know, like, yeah, we did that 3 years ago or 10 years ago. Do it again. You've changed. She's changed. You've changed. Everybody changes. You're not the same as you were. And contrary to popular belief, we forget. Over a year, we forget what it said. I've got shelves of books, and it's stupid to have shelves of books because you can't remember what they all say. So you should just read them all in cycles over and over again, right? And if it's not any good, throw it away. Those aren't trophies, right? This is not a trophy. This is a book that's very helpful to you. Now, the other part of this is there's a partner to what we've been teaching you, and that is a website. And listen to me, if you're struggling and going through a marriage struggle today, this website is step by step, personal, private, at your own pace marriage healing. And it's www. You don't even have to put that. Just type it in. Yeah, I'm old school though. It's marriagebuilders.com. And they've got everything we've talked about. They've got all the forms, all the tests, all the questionnaires, and they've got sidetracks for like recovering a broken marriage, from infidelity to sexual aversion to I don't know what all. Anything that's going wrong in your marriage, this will walk you through it. So it's great. But again, you have to do the work. Now, here's the thing. This is something that I really wanted to get out today. And if you don't take anything else home, I want you to get this today. What we've been talking about up to this point has been knowing yourself, right? Knowing how you experience love. Right, how you feel love, and discovering. How many of you guys have, as you've been going through this, are like, man, if my husband or if my wife would only, you know, as you discover your need, you're like, this really does it for me. If they would only do the dishes. They don't know how much love and how much that means to me, okay? Now, everybody has a primary one or two, and I've said this and I'm going to say it again. The reason I'm saying it again is because you guys only leave with one thing we say. So, like, I'm repeating myself a lot. Well, that's because a lot of this is important.
And most of you only come to church once a month. So
Yeah.
we got to get the cycle in.
Yeah. So, like, if I want to say something, I have to say it 4 weeks in a row.
It's crazy. If everybody would show up on the one weekend, it would be just crazy.
Yeah. We'd have like 2,000 people in our church. So, what was I saying?
2 needs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've said this before.
I'm just a sidekick.
She's like, I need an outline. I said, oh, you're in trouble. It's right here.
2 needs.
And I don't even know where I'm at in it because my brain skips every once in a while. Have y'all ever had that? Like just freeze up?
2 needs.
Two needs. They're basically, you have a primary you should have about 5 really strongly felt needs, but you have 2 that just trump everything else. And when you discover what those 1 or 2 really strong needs are, then you'll, if you meet those, you're going to feel love. And you can get by without the rest of them. You know, it's like, okay, as long as I'm having good sex, then it doesn't matter if we ever have any quality time or anything else. So like, you know, whatever your major needs are, then that's what carries the most weight. Now, a lot of you may be like looking around and going, well, what are they talking about? Because you haven't been here in a month. No. Look, these are all on YouTube also. Driven Life Church on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and the messages are also available back on that table. If you missed and need a CD, they're available back there too.
But it's cooler to look at me. So, especially if you're ADD and can't listen to somebody talk. Our major emotional needs are these are the 10 major emotional needs of people. Affection, which is everything from notes and candy and gifts and quality time and all of these things, holding hands and a little kiss and just a little text message saying I love you, anything that has to do with affection. Then it's sexual fulfillment, and this is everything that involves the sexual part of marriage, and this is one that you don't want to practice with your friends. So like this is the only one that doesn't apply across, right? Then there's conversation, and for some people, man, this is what's hard for people to grasp. It's hard, and say you're a guy and your primary need that trumps everything else is sexual fulfillment, which is 85% or better of guys, especially guys, younger guys, like under, I don't know how old, I'm 40 something, 44, so 45 and older, I don't know. I don't know. But it's hard for you to understand that conversation for your wife is absolutely equally important to her as sex is for you. And that's baffling. It doesn't even make sense. That's why I'm saying your primary need, it don't. Your primary need, though, is your primary need, and there's no right or wrong answers. And to say, well, that's just stupid, that's a love buster. Don't do that. Okay? That would huge debits. Not good at all. And to tell your husband that you just need sex all the time, that's stupid, that's a debit. Don't do that. That don't work either. That love buster. Okay, so here's the other one. This is huge for guys more than women, but recreational companionship. That means you like to share with your spouse these activities you just like to do. Another one is honesty and openness. Another one, this is one that really gets into the political correctness, is physical attractiveness. You know, if that's the honey you use to catch the bear, then you got to keep doing it. So physical attractiveness, and to me, man, I would again say, well, some of these are just dumb. Well, now if physical attractiveness is your primary one, and for your wife to wake up looking like Frankenstein, in love, bless her heart.
He's not talking about me.
No, she wakes up looking like this. She just came to church. It's important, though. It's as important as yours is. The next one is financial support, financial security, and man, how you make huge debits and love busters in this is by blowing money, charging stuff on credit cards, not keeping a job, quitting your job, being inconsistent with your finances. I've seen everything I've said this before, and this is my theory, not hers. She doesn't necessarily agree with it. I think everything comes down to sex. That's why I said if you're not having sex in your marriage is in trouble. That's the way I feel, because I've counseled with enough couples, whether that's the primary need or not, that's always the telltale sign that it's in trouble, that it's over, because the natural, we were made to make love to each other in marriage. That's the way we were created. So if everybody's emotional needs are being met, it's gonna consummate in the bedroom or living room or wherever else. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, financial support. How did we get there? Oh, here's how we got there. Because I see more marriages fall apart because of financial security, and then it turns into the bedroom, but the marriage is over because of money. And here's how I know that, because then something happens and get a new job, and all of a sudden the marriage just levels out, and nothing really changed except you got more money. And so I see that a lot. So I think it's big. Domestic support. This is one you can really discover when you're dating. If you're dating a pig and it drives you crazy, they will never change. Domestic support. That's one of your, if neatness and tidiness and having contribution to keep things neat and clean. I mean, I'm not talking about, just OCD weird. I'm talking about don't leave the trash on the floor, which is a problem at our house. But anyway, you can tell I got a little domestic support issue. If you've ever worked around me, you know I'm. Family commitment to the kids, to the family, this is big this time of year. This time of year is where this one's going to shoot up, because she just wants to go to her parents
don't want to go to mine.
And it turns into that. That means somebody's got family commitment, love needs, and to say that's stupid is a huge debit. A big time love buster. And those will come out on the holidays, because holidays, well, they're just horrible. I mean, it's just,
It's very stressful until you become the grandparents. Then it seems like it levels off because everybody has to come to your house at that point. But for all the kids, all of us out there that have to go to every single Thanksgiving and Christmas that there is, it's stressful. It's very stressful for us.
Unless you just say, well, we don't have to do that. And then if your thing is family commitment, then that's not good. So there is no reason or logic to it, just the way it is. The next one is admiration. This is huge. You can tell these people because if someone compliments you and they become your favorite person, that's probably one of your big ones. If you are really, say you don't like somebody in general just by the way they look or smell or keep the place or, slothful or whatever, but all of a sudden they say, wow, you have the most beautiful eyes. And you're like, oh, that's just the greatest person ever. They're more, that means one of yours is admiration. You thrive and are very attracted to people who admire or compliment you or lift you up or encourage you. And so, again, it's a major need. Now, here's the thing, and this is what I want to hit today, and I'm going to do this pretty quick, and I'm going to hit it pretty hard, okay? John 15:13 in the Bible says, well, I don't need to look it up, I know what it says. John 15:13 says, Jesus is talking to his disciples, and this is at the end of his life. This is the night before he's taken, and so he's given his swan song talk with his friends, and he's telling them that the people will know you by your love for one another. They'll know you're mine. The next thing he says is, greater love has no one than this, that he would lay down his life for his friends. Marriage is about life, okay? And I believe with all of my heart that God created marriage because God wants us to have life. And I think, and Jesus says it like, if you're able to do this, it may not be for everybody. Some people are just made to be single, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being single at all. I know culturally you're like a leper or you feel whatever. There is nothing wrong with being single. Whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're a single parent, you have kids, whether you're a single child and just have parents, whether hopefully everybody's got some friend in their life. Greater love has no one than this, that they lay down their life for their friend. Now I want to wrap this into context of marriage because we've been talking about us. You need to discover your primary emotional need. Now what I find out as long as I deal with couples and counseling and stuff like that is that everyone wants to communicate to their spouse what they need. We are passionate about being loved, right? But life is not found in being loved. Life is found in being loving. Okay? And it's so important. Marriages break because I want you to love me. Ultimately, where marriages break is because I want you to love me. Now, I want you to say this. Love is sacrifice. Say this after me. 1, 2, 3. Love is sacrifice. God loved the world by sacrificing. Jesus loved his friends by sacrificing. I love my children by sacrificing. I love my wife by sacrificing. To truly experience the marriage God has for you and to enter into life, it's not about your needs. Now we went through this whole exercise because you need to know your needs. You need to know how to be loved so you can communicate that. Because I could be trying so hard and it's so frustrating to love someone and them not receive it. It's extremely frustrating, right? Has anybody experienced loving someone who didn't love you back? It's hard, right? Even in marriage, it's like, oh, I'm doing everything I can. So what do? I quit. Because she's never going to get it, obviously. And in our minds, we say somebody else will get it and they'll love me. And we go to the next one. And you start dating because obviously if you're dating, you're going to be doing that, right? And then you end up getting married and then you're in the same boat again. What is happening? All of a sudden they're not loving me anymore. And we keep looking for the life we think life is in being loved other places. Guys, what this whole thing has come down to, though, is that we communicate this so that you know how to love your spouse. That's what this is about. See, it just got real, right?
It's not about you.
It is not about you. The minute your marriage is about you, your marriage is in trouble.
It's the same with our relationship with Christ. And that relationship is supposed to mirror the marital relationship. So it's not about us, it's about serving him. And what does he do? He always gives us our needs back. He always does, because he loves us. Well, that's the way it should be in a marriage. We love each other so much that we desire to please each other and not worry about personal, ourselves. Because if you're both trying to meet each other's needs, you will, and it's perfect.
It's harder than death. Death's pretty easy, right? I mean, honestly, it's possum. Just lay down. Death is just quitting.
Yeah.
Death is easy. Marriage is hard. Quote it. My Manic marriage, hashtag it. Death is easy, marriage is hard. All right. What I'm saying is, you may be in a marriage where you feel like you're the only one giving anything. I'm giving and I'm giving and I'm giving and I'm giving, and I'm not getting anything. Well, guess what? It's all about you. When I love, I just give. There is no and, there is no but clause. And that's hard. I know it sounds great. We're in church. Everybody's like, oh, yes, that's so profound. Well, yeah, practice that out there, and it's not that easy. The only thing I've found to be something that mirrors that is dealing with your kids. You love them so much. You want to kill them. I mean, you want to kill them dead. But you don't. You love them so much, and it doesn't matter how irritating they are or how many times they mess up. We can't stop. But why isn't it like that with our marriage? Do you realize that if our marriage has that kind of commitment where you want to kill each other, but you don't because it's illegal, but you can't stop loving each other. If you do that, your kids are going to learn what love is. They're going to be secure. Your family's going to be better. Everything's going to come together. The thing is, we have to know our spouse's needs better than we know our own.
Because if I meet his, then he's going to meet mine, and it's going to be good.
But it's work. It's work. If you're in a place right now where you think your marriage is completely over, I understand. I understand. There's been many
That's good.
days and nights and mornings and weekends where it would just be easier to quit. There are many times where it doesn't seem like it's ever going to be worth it. And what I realize in those times is that it really is about me. I'm whining, complaining, crying, whatever, because my needs aren't being met. And the minute you realize that and you shift into, I'm going to do whatever I can to make her life the best possible life she can ever have. At that minute, our marriage is out of trouble. And what that does, and if your marriage is on the rocks, if it would just be easier to quit, I understand. But listen to me, that's not going to fix anything. Because the next one's going to be the same way. And the next one's going to be the same way. And your relationship with your kids are going to be the same way. And your relationship with your friends are going to be the same way. All your relationships in your life are going to come down to the same thing. If we learn to meet the needs, if we spend our life meeting the needs of those around us, greater love has no man than this, that he would lay down his life for his friends. That I would give up what is comfortable, what I want. I would give up not going to my family to go to your family for the holidays. I would give up not going to anybody's family and just getting on a plane, leaving town for, holidays. Whatever you have to give up, you're willing to do that, but not in a jerkwad way.
Right. That's love busters.
Yes, if you do it like you're going to owe me, that's not. Or if you do it and go, yeah, I'll do this, but I'm fixing to make this weekend hell on you.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Anybody experience that?
Anybody experience that? No? Raise your hands. Golly. You're not supposed to do that. That's not good. Honest and open, that's right. What I want you to get, guys, is as long as you're willing to love, your marriage has a chance. And that's as simple as it really gets. As long as you're willing to love, And I mean love, like whatever it is, whatever it takes. No matter what you've been through, man, we've seen everything. I mean everything. It's amazing what a marriage can handle.
Yeah.
As long as you're willing to love.
Love covers a multitude of sins.
It's true. And so when you start to go through these needs, man, it's so important to know your needs and know how to be loved, because you need to communicate that. That way she's not working like mad in the wrong areas. You know, I mean, she's working, and what you do by knowing your needs is you make their work more productive, a lot more accomplished with a lot less input. But we have to know our needs to communicate those. But that's the end of our needs. We have to then become lovers and start to give ourselves away to meet the needs of those around us, whether it's a friend, whether it's a child, whatever it is. You ever have friends that take, and eventually you're like, I'm kind of done with you. I don't really need a bunch of people like you in my life. Don't do that in marriage. You can't be a taker. And what happens if you love well? It's going to be natural to return that love. Right? I've seen this. I go to the elementary school, and you let somebody go and they wave at you. What do? No matter, you were just cussing them, I know. But they wave at you and smile, what do? Why? Because there's something in us that says return what we've been given, right? It's something weird in us that just says return back what you've been given. And when we do that in our marriages, man, when we smile and wave, then they'll smile and wave back.
Yeah, that's good.
And it'll work. Now, here's your homework. Ready? Okay. Write it down, because I know you guys are like, I got it right here. I know how that works.
Wives, write it down.
Somebody write it down. Here's your homework. This week, I want you to do something extraordinary to meet your partner's primary love need. I mean extraordinary. Like, here's, and this is dangerous, okay? Because you got to be smart. Because if one of yours is like affection, like a dozen roses just does it for you, but their other one is financial security, don't be stupid. Don't go in this big extreme thing and cancel it out. Don't go, I planned you a dinner at the Four Seasons and a night at the mansion on Turtle Creek. That's awesome. How much did that cost? Right? Don't cancel it out.
That's why it's important to know. You've got to know what the top 5 are. Very important.
Yeah. And do this one too. If the greatest thing you can do for her is alone time, don't leave. This is something you need to do together. Like, you want to really show me you love me, go away. That's not good, okay? That's not what we're talking about. Here's some examples. We came across some of you guys doing this week, and we want to applaud you for doing this.
We want to embarrass you, really good. Actually, it's not going to embarrass you. It's going to make everyone else go, oh, why didn't you do that for me?
Yeah, you're going to be the envy.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I came across this. Is this not just awesome? Matt, he posted this beautiful picture of his beautiful bride, and you cannot see the eyes as well as you can see it on Facebook. They were like popping out there. They were so pretty. Every day, I am more and more thankful for my bride. She is the most beautiful woman in God's creation to me. She is the best mother to my children that I could ask for. She works so hard to take care of her family and go to school with no time for herself. I admire my wife, Carrie Lyon, above all people. I love you, baby. Oh, isn't that awesome? It's so sweet. Come on, give him a round. Where you at? There he is. Yeah, I got a high
Here's
five.
what you don't
right
know.
Woo, woo, woo.
His Facebook was hacked. No, I'm just kidding. No.
That was awesome. Here's another I ran across too. Look at this one, Dee Dee. Oh, I love it. My beautiful flowers for my sweet husband, just because he loves me. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, Josh. Woo.
So good, so good. Hey, I ran across another one too. Look at this one. I would rather be pecked to death by chickens, so this better be a credit. I went to Guitar Center with him, but actually that canceled it. I was just making a bad example. You shouldn't put that, like, I hate this, and I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, they kind of canceled it out. But I was just saying that's a bad example.
So you know your spouse, but at this point, after 3 weeks, you should know at least some of what makes them feel loved. So I want you this week to go and do something extraordinary to say I love you. And these are huge things. I actually had a question this morning by Jeremy Clower, because I'm gonna call him out. You're gonna give us homework every week. I'm like, dude, you're married. It's your life is your homework. It's every week. You don't get out. So like, you don't have to. This is something. I'm giving you homework to get you in the habit. This is what you do from now on. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, from now on.
This is a way of being, all right? This is what we're going to be like, right, in our marriages. So our homework this week is to do something extraordinary, to say, I love you to your spouse in their language, okay? In their language. Now, here's the way it works, really. This is a reality. Generally, their primary is probably one of your least, so it will be a huge sacrifice for you. And the greater the sacrifice, the more the love. Unless you say, I'm sacrificing, then it doesn't count. There's a lot of rules, I know. A lot of rules. We have to say, I love you. We have to learn to give. We have to learn to sacrifice. And if we do, man, it's really going to make our marriages better. All right, let me pray for you, and then we'll dismiss. God, I thank you so much for these marriages.